To celebrate the holidays, we're bringing you 12 days of family history research.
So we're going to take this opportunity to get back to basics of family history research.
And each day we'll bring you a different strategy that will help you find your family. Merry Christmas from Journey Through the Generations. Hey everybody, welcome back to Journey Through the Generations, day 6 of our 12 days of family history research series.
It's really flying by.
It is. It's really flying by. We're halfway home. We're getting close to Christmas, so Merry Christmas to anyone out there that's listening. So today we're talking about military records.
Absolutely, yes. Military records. And I have to be completely transparent. Military records I'm not as familiar with as I am other records during my research. Honestly, the first military record that I ever heard of was from my uncle when he kept telling us about his DD-214.
Yeah, absolutely.
I had no idea what that was. I had to look it up.
Like all the way up until he passed away.
Correct.
He was always looking or made sure we knew where his DD-214 was, and we went straight to it when he passed.
Was a great thing that we knew what it was, where it was. But that is his discharge paperwork from. He was in the Air Force. Yeah. So, and it gave his information when he was in, when it ended, and he was in the Air Force, that he was actually a part of Vietnam, that he was honorably discharged so that he would be able to be buried in a military cemetery, and he would get all of the benefits of being a veteran, basically.
Yes, and for me, I haven't had the need to do military research, although there are military members of my family. My dad was in the military, but he's still living, so yes. I really don't have a need to research that unless he needed me to for some reason. But further on back, way back in my family, all the way to the Revolutionary War, I have people, but it's well documented, and at least as of right now, I haven't gotten back that far. But as of right now, I don't think I would need to research because all of it's there. Because I found an application to the what is it?
Sons or the daughters?
The daughters of the American Revolution. And you have to have like a ton of information.
Yes.
For them. So I don't have that either, but we do have some information that we can share with you today to, kind of help you out if you have to do some military research. So I think probably I guess we should say this information or some of it can be found in places like Ancestry.com
yes.
or Family Search. But
yes.
I would probably, if it were me, I would probably start with the government and just go to archives.gov. And from there, you can research by branch, Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Air Force, and the Coast Guard. And you can also research by the war or conflict.
That's interesting.
And so if you already know, maybe some of this stuff, you can go directly to the archives.com or .gov website. Then you can go ahead and start researching there, or use all the resources.
Right.
I'm not saying don't use one over the other.
Yeah, if you can use them all, please do. Another avenue of research is also subscription based. It's called fold3.com.
FOLD, the number 3.com.
Yes. And it is strictly a military research site, kind of like an Ancestry, but it's all military.
And it's a part of the Ancestry.
It is owned by Ancestry.
Can you
cannot.
Bundle?
You have to do it separately.
So you have to pay for it separately. Okay.
Yeah, but
they used to bundle though, didn't they?
They did a long time ago, but they don't anymore.
All right, cool.
But yes, you can research. You can actually put in your military person's name and date of birth, and their records would show up. And of course, if you have an account with them that you've paid for, then you have access to those records, which would include pension records. It's not enrollment records when they enlistment records and things like that. So that's on Fold 3. If you ever are in DC, you can go to the National Archives and you can request records from them personally, because obviously that's where all of them are housed.
Yes, and you should know in Washington, D.C., that they only have records from the Revolutionary War to 1912. So just keep that in mind for your research. And then records from World War I to the present are held in St. Louis in the National Military Personnel Records, which I did not know.
I didn't know that either.
That was a thing. So in my research for this episode, I did find that out. So I just want to call that out for people to know, because that's important.
And you can also contact the Veteran Affairs. Obviously, if they're a veteran, they have benefits and things like that, and you can get information from Veteran Affairs. And also military cemeteries would also be part of the research. If they're not necessarily buried in a military cemetery, if they have a military headstone, then obviously there's a record of that headstone paperwork application that would also be beneficial for your research.
Yep, and on top of all the data that Trisha mentioned is in these service records, they also have pension applications and pension records that you could also look up. It's available in the National Archives in Washington, D.C. I think it's based on it's broken up by branch.
Yes.
I'm sure. And I think that they only have between 1775 and 1916 to provide that information. So definitely go to the archives.gov website and do some research and make sure that what you're looking for, if you know what you're looking for, but what you're looking for is in the place where you think it might be. So you definitely want to make sure that you do that.
And also, if you know that there was a battle, say for instance the Civil War, there was a battle in my hometown, so our county courthouse has information from that battle because it was done there. So if I say that for the Civil War, because that's the only war that we've had in America. So if you know for sure that there was a battle that your family was involved in, or was in your area, then you may want to contact the county or that state for more information.
Yes, and there's also ways that you can get a free copy of their DD-214, the archives.gov website, and they can tell you how to get copies of your DD-214.
Yes, so this is a reminder, if you know someone who is in the military, to inquire about if they know where their DD-214 is.
I asked my dad. He said he knows where it is, so it's probably been in the same place for
he said exactly where it is.
However long it is. So, but yeah, military records are really good records. You can find out a lot of information. And one thing we didn't talk about is for some of those, you can find out medical information as well, because they kept track of that stuff.
Because a lot of people use the military even like as a veteran for their health, and if that was the cause of a discharge, if they were injured in war, things like that. And also remember that not everybody who's in the military was in the military during a time of war. There are plenty of people who were in the military when our country was at peace,
like my dad.
Yes, but there's still records of their enlistment, their service, and the things that they did during that time.
Yes. And then I also mentioned this too, because I know searching the U.S. colored troops is a big source for people. And I know I have done some digitizing projects for the U.S. colored troops, getting documents and it's all kinds of documents. So it wasn't anything one particular, but digitized so that they could be shown in family search. So I would encourage you that if you have time to do something like that, please do, because it helps out Black genealogy for sure. So definitely take some time to do that.
Yeah, and you never know that military information could be a part of your family personal archive that you don't even know about. And listen to our previous episodes to hear more about your personal archives.
Yes, for sure. All right, guys, we appreciate you for listening to day 6 of our 12 days of family research series. We appreciate you for listening. In the description box is all of our social media, YouTube, and blog information. We'd appreciate it if you go check us out, like and subscribe, tell a friend. Come back tomorrow for day 7. Woo, on the back half,
no.
day 7 of our series. And if you haven't listened to days 1 through 5, I would ask very nicely, would you please go and listen to that?
Thank you. And if you are in the military or if you are a veteran, thank you so much for your service.
Yes.
We appreciate you.
Yes, for real. Go back and listen to days 1 through 5. I appreciate it. All right, guys, we'll talk to y'all later. Peace.